Hi everyone, thanks so much for watching. In today's video, I'm going to go through my May faves and fails, and I actually only have a handful of products here to talk about, so let's get into it. So my first fave of the month is this perfume that I actually got for Mother's Day. It's from Jo Malone and it's the Wood Sage and Sea Salt. This has been a long time favorite of mine, and anytime I can pick it as a gift with purchase when I'm ordering from Sephora, or if ever I'm in store and they're giving out samples, I always grab one. I have had little minis of this over the years, but I've never had a big full-size bottle. So this is my favorite Jo Malone fragrance. It's a brand that some of their scents I really love, like this one, and then some of them I don't at all. So this is very soft and subtle and clean to me. So it definitely has that earthiness to it that I like. Again, it's not overpowering, it's quite subtle. So it says that the keynotes are ambret seeds, sea salt, and sage. Scent type is earthy, green, herbally, earthy, and woody. So yeah, definitely my favorite scent from Jo Malone. And again, some of them I've really loved and some of them I can't even wear. Some of them are so sweet, some of the Jo Malone scents. It just actually nauseates me. So I'm very fussy when it comes to fragrance, and a fragrance can very easily make me feel nauseated. So this has been a long time fave, but I finally have a nice big bottle of it to enjoy. So again, I got that for Mother's Day, but I've been loving this since I received it. Okay, next up in here, I have this little mini Rare Beauty liquid blush. Now this is not new. I think I got my first Rare Beauty liquid blush just shortly after she launched them, and that had to have been a couple of years ago. So it's a product I've used for a long time. And then at Christmas time, I think, is that when I got this mini set? I think so. So this is a little trio. This came as a little trio, a little mini trio. And this specifically is the shade Hope. And I do have this in my current Shop My Stash, and I'm loving it. I'm absolutely loving it. And I feel like I forgot how great these are. And this shade in particular is so beautiful. So first of all, they're very easy to work with. Now she does also have like a potted cream blush. I love those, but I forgot how great these were. Like that shade for me is just perfection. It's this pinky, mauvey, easy to wear, easy to blend out, and it does have a little bit of a dewiness to it. I think you can see that there. It's not a shimmer, it's not a glitter, but it is a little bit dewy. And these do dry down quite well. I mean, look how far that little bit went. Like these are, I'll spread it out so you can see, even if I spread this out, that little bit I put is enough for my whole face. Like you need such a small amount of this, and you can really get this beautiful, just sort of flushed from within blush look, and I love it. And I have been so happy to have this in my Shop My Stash and excited to use it every day and absolutely loving it. So again, it's not a new product for me, but just a rediscovered favorite. Absolutely loving that. Why? I'm leaving you in. I know you can hear me talking, so you know I'm filming. Okay, another new product, fairly new to me, is this concealer from NYX. It's the Bear With Me Concealer Serum. I've talked about this concealer a couple of times. I mentioned it in a TikTok Made Me Buy It video. So I'll show you what this concealer looks like. It is a very thick consistency, which I am discovering I prefer. So I don't want a heavy concealer look, but I do prefer a thicker formula, and you can see, like that's definitely a thick formula. It does sit very nice under my mature, wrinkly under eyes. It's not drying, it's quite pretty. I don't know that it's worth all the hype maybe that it's getting. I think it's a really, really nice concealer. I'm happy to have it, and I probably even would repurchase it. Like it is very nice, very, very nice. If it wasn't such, I picked this up in quite a light shade. I wonder how this would be as an all-over foundation even. I bet you beautiful, because it's just that type of formula where I feel like you could wear it as a concealer, but you could probably easily wear this all over your face as well. It is quite nice. and I am really enjoying it and very happy to have it and reaching for it all the time. And again though, like there's lots of nice concealers out there. This is definitely one of them. I don't know that you need to run out and get it, but if you were looking for something that offered, you know, a pretty good amount of coverage, which it does, like that little tiny bit I used, look at how I, you know, kind of covered the whole back of my hand. And I think you can see like it's very emollient and very, very creamy, but also quite thick. So it does offer some coverage. And it sits really nice under my, you know, mature under eye area, which I do struggle with dryness everywhere. So it's a really nice concealer and it works really well for me. And it does set down quite nice. It wears well through the day. And so I am really, really enjoying it and getting lots of use out of it. And I think it's a great product. But again, I think there's lots of great concealers out there. So yeah, it's good. I'm enjoying it. I love it. Happy to have it, would probably even repurchase. Okay, and then I placed an order on e.l.f. So some things were really, really good. Lots of hits and a couple of misses. So the first thing that I picked up was this primer. It's the Power Grip Primer. And I have seen this go viral for a long time actually, but I have tried little mini samples of the Milk, I think it's called Hydro Grip, that people say this is a dupe for, and I didn't like the Milk Hydro Grip. So, and also I don't struggle with my makeup kind of slipping and sliding around because I'm so dry. So I didn't think this was ever going to be something I would be interested in, but then, you know, the more you see it, and then I was on there ordering some stuff and I thought, okay, I'm just going to pick it up. First of all, this was not inexpensive. I want to say this was like $14. That's probably Canadian, but it wasn't like $4 or $5, which sometimes e.l.f. stuff can be. It was a little bit more expensive. And so even when I put it in there, I had a moment where I was like, oh, do you really need it? You don't need another primer. You probably aren't going to want something that grips. Anyways, I am loving this. Long story short, I'm loving it. It is this gel consistency, which again, I don't typically love gel products. And so when you put it on, it's thick. It's a thick gel. It doesn't really have any scent to it. What I find this does, I don't know if it grips your makeup or not, because again, I don't struggle with my makeup kind of slipping all over because my skin is so dry. What this does do though, is it creates this barrier almost between my makeup and my wrinkles. And so it really, I struggle with makeup settling in this area where I have kind of like sort of deeper grooves. It sort of smooths that out and almost puts like this barrier there, and my makeup settles less. And so for that reason, I've been loving it, because what ends up happening normally, if I don't use this in the day, I have to pat out where my makeup sits in my creases. If I use this, I don't. And I've used this with almost all of my foundations. Today I went in with the new Rose Ink one that I recently purchased, and I didn't use this because I just wanted to see how it would sit without any sort of primer underneath it. But I'm excited to try this with that. Also, that Rose Ink one, I don't find really does settle. I've been using this under all of my foundations. They all sit beautifully on top of it, and my makeup looks better when I add this in. So very happy to have that. And then another one from e.l.f. that I picked up is one of these Hydrating Core Lip Shine. This is the lipstick that I have on today. So I lined my lips first, I'll get to the liner, and then I topped it with this. First of all, they're so cute because they have these little heart cores in them. It's just a slight subtle bit of color. This is the type of lip product that I'm definitely going for right now. So that was a really good pick, and I'm really enjoying that. And then a couple products that I also picked up from e.l.f. that I'm not loving. So a couple of years ago, I picked up this lip liner from e.l.f. and I think it was just called like lip liner in the shade red. I want to say it was like $2. It only, when I got it, it was only available in that one shade. So let me show you this here. This is my favorite lip liner. It's this beautiful, I did line my lips with it today, and then I topped it with that e.l.f. Lip product there. It's this perfect lip liner for me. It's very creamy, it's very soft. So it comes on the one end with the liner, and then on the other end it has this smudgy brush, which I do use actually because I quite like that effect. I'll go in and I'll line to give them a little bit more plumpness and just sort of smooth out where my border isn't as sharp as it once was. And then I just kind of smudge it in a little bit. I love this. Like, this is my favorite lip liner. I reach for it all the time, but you can't buy it anymore. I don't know how much I have, and I'm getting a little low, and I'm so sad you can't buy this anymore. And so I thought, okay, while I'm on there ordering, let me try one of e.l.f.'s newer lip liners. This is the Love Triangle Lip Filler Liner, and I grabbed this in the shade Soft Pink. Shade-wise, I feel like it's pretty close. Formula-wise, not at all. It's very, very stiff. It's not the same formula, although swatched out, they look identical, but I'm telling you, this is not. This is a very firm, stiff lip liner, and I don't like it. I don't like it as much. It's not the same. It's not as smudgy and creamy as that original one. So although the shade is, I mean, honestly, identical shades, formula is not the same, and I'm just not loving it as much. So that's too bad, because I would love to just repurchase that same one because I love it so much. Okay, and then the last thing I picked up from e.l.f. in that order was from the Cookies and Dreams collection, and it's the Milkshake Overnight Mask. And it's really, really nice. It's a very thick, let me put a little bit out here so you can see it. It's this very, very thick mask. I've only used this as an overnight mask. So it says you can do it either way. You can put it on, leave it on 10-15 minutes, rinse it off, or wear it as an overnight mask. And so I've used it as an overnight mask, and it's really nice. It smells, I mean, I don't know if that smells like cookies and cream, actually. It doesn't smell terrible. It's a subtle scent. I'm not sure. The scent is maybe not my favorite. But I do feel like this is incredibly hydrating and definitely sits nice on the skin. I will say, when I put this on the back of my hand and I rub this mask in, those little cookie bits do dissolve in. But when I use this as an overnight mask, I think because I go in first with so many products, so many serums and oils and stuff, and then I put this on, those little cookie bits don't. So I'm left in the morning with those little cookie speckles all over my face, which I don't love. But when I put it on here on my hand without anything else on it and rub it in, they do kind of all melt in together. And I mean, I think you can try to get it in the light, but it's very hydrating. It feels nice on my skin. I'm very happy to have it. There was other things from the Cookies and Dreams collection that I wanted, but that was the one thing that I picked up. So there you go. It's not a lot of products, just really a handful of things. If you've watched my other videos, as you know, I am trying to purchase less things, bring less things into my life. Although I did have some gift cards and did place, I mean, not a huge Sephora order, even though it was an expensive Sephora order. I did buy a handful of things. So I haven't used them enough to know for sure my thoughts on them. So far, they're all favorites and I'm loving them, thank goodness. But I'll probably update those in my June Faves and Fails video because, again, I've only had them about a week at this point and I'd like to use them a little bit more. But I'll link my Sephora haul video if you want to see the products I'm talking about, as well as my try-on that I just recently did, so you could see those products kind of in action. So there you go, not a lot of products for my Faves and Fails for May, but as always, I appreciate you taking the time to watch my video. If you enjoyed it, if you would please give it a thumbs up. If you're not subscribed, if you would subscribe, that would be amazing. I will see you guys in my next video. Bye, everyone.